What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com. Here are my DFS picks for NBA Thursday, May 19th. These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our new videos. In this video, I'm going to go over my top picks for today's NBA slate. And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made. Okay guys, NBA playoffs. Let's take a look at this showdown slate between the Boston Celtics and the Miami Heat. Let's take a look at the two studs on the slate. You have Jimmy Butler. He's 11,000 DraftKings salary. He scored 73, 54, and 45 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 41, 42, and 34 minutes. He's projected at 45.1 fantasy points here tonight, but I think he can score 50 plus fantasy points, and I think he does have the most upside on the slate. He put in that 73 fantasy point game last game, but we also could have a letdown game from Jimmy Butler after that monster performance. So I like Jimmy Butler, but I am a little bit cautious here because I think he could have a letdown game. So the other stud on the slate is Jason Tatum. He's 10,600 DraftKings salary. He scored 56, 44, and 67 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 44, 36, and 42 minutes. Now, Jason Tatum is projected at 50.4 fantasy points here tonight. He averaged more fantasy points than Jimmy Butler during the regular season, playing similar minutes. He played on average a couple minutes more per game, but he scored 47.3 fantasy points per average during the season. Jimmy Butler scored 40.8 fantasy points per average throughout the season. And I like Jason Tatum as my stud here tonight more than Jimmy Butler because although he doesn't flash that 70 plus point upside very often, either does Jimmy Butler. And Jason Tatum, more often than not, scores between 50 and 60 fantasy points, especially in the playoffs where he's playing monster minutes. And Al Horford is injured. I think he's going to be out tonight. And if that's the case, Jason Tatum should have an increased usage rate. The ball will be in his hands more opportunities for rebounds and all that good stuff. So I like Jason Tatum here versus the Miami Heat. Before I continue with the picks, I'm excited today because we added a new contest for everyone watching. If you want to enter the drawing for $25 PayPal, all you need to do is like this video, hit that subscribe button, and make a quick comment below to be entered into the drawing. We'll reply to a random comment and let you know that you won. And we'll send you $25 PayPal. So it's that easy, and we pick a new winner every Saturday and announce them in our video. So get your comment in now so I can add another entry for you. Now, a guy who I think is just a little overpriced is Jalen Brown. He's 9,400 DraftKings salary. So if I'm going to go with one of the Celtics studs, I think I would just rather pay up that 10,600 for Jason Tatum. But Jalen Brown does have 50 plus upside, but he's more of a guy that's going to put up like 35 to 45 fantasy points. So at 9,400 DraftKings salary, I think he's just a little bit overpriced here. Although I think he's going to have a good game, I just think you can spend that salary a little better elsewhere. Another player that I'd be cautious with is Marcus Smart. He was playing really well until he went out with his foot injury. I think he's going to play again here tonight, but he's 7,200 DraftKings salary. We're not sure how many minutes he's going to play or how he's going to do on that injured foot, so I'd be cautious there. But because of that Al Horford injury, that opens up a couple of plays. One play that's just a monster play here, probably my favorite play on the slate, would be Robert Williams from the Boston Celtics. He's 6,200 DraftKings salary, and he averaged 31.3 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 30 minutes per game with a 12% usage rate. He scored 34 fantasy points last game, played 28 minutes, projected at 30.6 fantasy points here tonight. So at only 6,200 DraftKings salary, I think this guy has some monster upside with Al Horford out. So I like Robert Williams here versus the Miami Heat. Now, because of that Al Horford injury, it also opens up a super value play here for the Boston Celtics. Take a look at Daniel Tice. And Daniel Tice has averaged 17.7 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 21 minutes per game with a 17% usage rate. He hasn't got many minutes in the playoffs, but last game with Al Horford's injury, he scored 18 fantasy points in 19 minutes. He's only 1,800 DraftKings salary, so he's got the potential here to crush value, and he's going to be a guy that's going to open up all that salary in your lineup to fit in those studs and those higher priced players. So I like Daniel Tice here versus the Miami Heat. Now I also like Bam Adebayo from the Miami Heat.
Real quick, guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all of our DFS tools for all sports. You can try the Position Optimizer, where you can see the top players ranked for each position. And we added a new Player Trends tool, where you can see the top salary differences between FanDuel and DraftKings. It's a really good tool to help you pick out value for the site that you're playing on.
Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups. And he averaged 40.6 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 33 minutes per game with a 25% usage rate. Now, he hasn't played well the past 3 games, only scored 24, 25, and 26 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 37, 34, and 27 minutes, but he's projected at 40.1 fantasy points here tonight. He's 8,400 DraftKings salary, and he has 50 plus upside. I just think it's any game now he's going to flash that 50 burger. So I like Bam Adebayo here versus the Boston Celtics. Now, you can also take a look at Tyler Hero from the Miami Heat. He averaged 34.6 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 33 minutes per game with a 29% usage rate. He scored 33 fantasy points last game, played 27 minutes. He was hindered with an injury for a few games, but now it looks like he's back playing closer to 30 minutes a game. So we'll see how that goes, but he's projected at 30.3 fantasy points here tonight. I think he can put up 35 plus fantasy points if he gets going, and he had some monster games versus the Celtics last year. So I am expecting big things from Tyler Hero versus the Celtics. He's just got super confidence when he's playing the Celtics for some reason, and last game put up 33 fantasy points against the Celtics. Let me take a look at his last 5 versus the Celtics. 33, 34, 21, 18, and 46. So he's got some pretty big upside. His salary is totally reasonable. I think he's going to play a bunch of minutes here tonight. I think he's a good play. So I like Tyler Hero here versus the Boston Celtics. Okay, guys, so with Marcus Smart back, I'd be cautious of playing Derek White, although he is probably still going to play plenty of minutes. He's 5,600 DraftKings salary, but he only scored 10 fantasy points in 28 minutes last game. And now with Marcus Smart back, just hard to know how many minutes he's going to play, how his production will be. And also, with Marcus Smart back, you can say goodbye to Peyton Pritchard, who had a couple of good games in a row, but I think his role is going to be reduced here tonight. Probably going to be more Derek White and Marcus Smart. So probably keep Peyton Pritchard on the bench, and they priced him up. He's $4,800 DraftKings salary. So I would much rather play, play Daniel Tice for $1,800, who should get extra minutes with Al Horford out. So I think that's the way to play this slate, guys. Daniel Tice for your super value play. And then you got a guy like Tyler Hero and Robert Williams as your mid-range plays. And then your studs, you're looking at Butler, Tatum, and Bam Adebayo. So I think that's a pretty good way to play this slate.
If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smickety smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NBA slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again, and good luck.